び立ってゆけ私の青い天使よ
Hello everyone, my name is Notepad, and I write games for fun. So what are we doing today? Well, today obviously we're going to be working on something brand new, and that's going to be Scala Maleficarum. Yes, last time on Dragon Ball Z, we finished a game, actually. We finished, there's a guild for that. Technically, what I can do is I can select all of this and hit the delete key, because I don't need it anymore. Goodbye, notes. We hardly knew ya. Now, Scala Maleficarum, for those who don't remember, is a game that has a very simple premise. That game is about wizards. Wizard school, in fact. You may be wondering, Notepad, why are you deciding to write a wizard school game? For fun and profit? For fun and profit, right? No. Why are you writing a wizard school game? Well, to put it bluntly, because it felt, yeah, it was kind of funny at the time. Because this was right during the Harry Potter controversy when that was going on, that Scala Maleficarum kind of came into being. Now, Hogwarts Legacy has gradually fell from the limelight a little bit. Still a massively popular game, and everyone's now like, oh boy, we're super hyped for the Harry Potter Legacy, Harry Potter Experience Legacy's brand new DLC coming out. Hell yeah. Yeah, waiting for that. That's going to be funny. But, yeah, so the basic premise is pretty simple. This is a magic school, and you're a bunch of kids in it. Easy enough to understand. The thing is, it's going to get a little bit more complicated than that, because there's two things we have to do. The first thing is make the game. The second thing is make the magic system. Yes, the magic system. We love magic. And this is what this entire game is going to be built upon. Because I'm going to give you all a very nasty and very funny little secret. Harry Potter magic doesn't work. Like, Harry Potter magic, like, fundamentally has no sense of right or wrong. Nothing quite is there. Nothing is like, yeah, this is what. Yeah. Delicious coffee. But yeah, so the goal with this was to, how do you create a legally distinct Harry Potter game while doing my own thing with it? And I did a little bit of digging. I did a lot of digging, in fact, quite a bit. Or I wanted to look at something, well, this actually. This is Slug-On's, the Slug-Add-ons franchise TTRPGs. Now, there's actually quite a few of these in this very long, dark document here. Are they all flawless? Of course not. But hey, if you really want to do Hololive Vocaloid K-pop idols or anything like that, you definitely can right now definitely find this. Yep, you can. But I don't even know what this game is. Cool. That's choo-choo, yeah. Slug-On was actually a pretty nice guy. I had nothing but positive things to say about him. But I did a little bit of digging with the Harry Potter section. So I'm like, well, there's got to be something to work with here, right? Right. There has to be something. There was not. So, to make it a little bit simpler to understand, these are the various games. We've had things such as Little Wizards. That's not it. Where did I put Little Wizards? Where did you go, Little Wizards? If I go to, where did the fucking go? Right here, Crafty Games. You get things such as There we go. You get things such as this, where it's like, okay, what are we working with here? Not really much. They mostly did a lot of these legacy role-playing games when it came to things like Little Wizards. Have I ever heard of this? No, not really. There was another one that I found, not the Ruby RPG. One of the others I found was, this is actually on itch.io. This is Arcana Academy, as you kind of see here. This is legitimately just a PBTA game. I'm not kidding you, it's just a PBTA game. Do I really know anything else outside of the fact that it is a PBTA game? No. It's just magic. You don't really have spells or anything, you just say you're doing magic and magic happens. There really isn't that much to work with here. Even the 1D4chan Harry Potter and the Tabletop RPG wasn't actually that much. There really isn't that much to work with here, so I decided to do a little bit of digging. You kind of see here, this is the, it even pops up being like, absolutely fucking not. Yeah, okay, understandable. But yeah, as you kind of get the understanding, there really isn't much to base this off of. Cortex hacks? Kind of surprised by that. Always flew under the radar and could be confusing. Cortex finds itself in the strangest places because there are people who are dedicated fans of Cortex. The people who love Cortex are going to do everything in their power to make Cortex. I don't think I've ever gone over Cortex games on this channel before. I might one day if I kind of need to. Cortex is one of those things where it's like, how do you bring it up in any like good one? How do you bring up Cortex in any good capacity? Because the thing is, Cortex, for those who don't know, if we not Cotex, Cortex, Cortex RPG is kind of odd because, like, oh, well, they're like Cortex Prime, Imagine world building, tabletop role-playing game. These guys actually got fucking bought by fandom. Yes, they got bought by fandom. As you guys see, Fandom Tabletop. Fandom Tabletop kind of got shot in the head a little bit. Let's not, yeah. Yeah, acquired the rights right here, Cortex Creative Director. Nothing really happened there. And then it was Tales of Zadia technically use it. This role-playing game extravaganza, you can buy it right now if you want to. They got their thing sold off to, when Fandom Tabletop collapsed, they sold everything over to Direwolf. I believe this is it. As you can kind of see here, these are the two there. Technically, if we want to do, let's see, did Legends of Grayskull ever come out? No, I don't think Legends of Grayskull ever came out. Yeah. I don't think that one's ever going to come out. But yeah, no, this is... Cortex has an interesting and very tragic history. Yeah, and there were a bunch of different variations of the game. There were quite a few, because there was Cortex Drama, Cortex, like, Complete. There was another one which was like Cortex Lite. There were a couple versions of the game. And all of them did do things slightly different from each other. What do you even do? You do like the Dune board games. Oh no, you just do Clank. You do the Clank board game and the Dune board, like the Dune Imperium for some reason, and you also do Tales of Zadia. Oh boy, everybody. Tales of Zadia. Yeah, this is Direwolf. They don't really do anything. Yeah, I don't know where they really I don't know what happened with the fandom situation. I'd be curious to see what the situation there was. And there's probably a good answer somewhere, but yeah, fandom for a while was like, oh, we want to expand the franchise. That didn't do very well. But yeah, I did a little bit of digging, trying to find Harry Potter games, and that just didn't happen. Because I'm like, hey, what's your game recommendations for Harry Potter? Broomsticks. Okay. But how do I do spells here? How do I do a spell? You don't. You do charms. They just positive tone while curses have an inherent -1. Oh, you just make a roll. That's all you do. So okay, we don't need that. Hogwarts. What does Hogwarts, the unofficial tabletop game, does? And then you get things like this, which, oh, by the way, legitimately, it's a full-on like, you have to like write out every single one of the spells. So it's like, maybe that's not what we're looking for either. As you can see. Ta-da! Yeah, I've been trying my best to find out whatever I can about it, but there really isn't anything to go off of. So, at our most basic understanding, we're going to have to make a brand new and very large, oh boy, Rice's Hogwarts. Lovely. You want to play Eldritch High? It's by John Wick. Yay, John Wick. Poorly put together system. Yeah. Magic and lots of lasers and feeling stuff. So, that's going to be the priority today. We are going to have to create a brand new magic system from dirt. Because that's what we do here. We make the magic happen. Which is to say, I'm going to kind of just like sit here and like stare at this page for about 2 hours before I get frustrated with it all. Hey. So, if we kind of sit over here with our basic, core, if we want to do our just core system, let's start from the top a little. We just want to do our core system. We already kind of decided on a D6 system with the idea of a fate die in the middle of things. Yes, a fate die. Now, for those who don't know what fate die are, if I go up here, fate die are these. Instead of having the traditional 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, they are D6s with a 2 pluses, 2 minuses, and 2 blank sides. And when you select that, you're going to roll the dice, and congratulations, you got a plus, you got a minus, you got a blank, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And hey, Notepad, I found a video game that meets your mech quota, and it is only war crimes. It's called Battle Grid. Battle Grid? Never heard of this game before. It looks like a horde shooter. That looks interesting. Cool. Vidya game. Oh, it's an auto battler. Oh. What did I miss? You missed nothing. It's just going to be me staring at this to create a system from nothingness, as I usually do. Now, the core idea for the fate die. The fate die, you can kind of say, is going to be your special. Is going to be your critic. I think the best way to think is going to be kind of like your critical die. If you roll a plus, and this was going to be, I guess, critical die maybe not the best term for it, but the entire idea is that a plus is going to be good. Blank Let's go represent that by. And then a minus is going to be bad. The core conceit is that whenever you roll, you're either going to make things go well, pretty meh, or pretty bad. This does not justify your success or your penalties. This is going to just be whether things go well for you, things go pretty meh, things go badly. It is, if you could badly succeed at something, you kind of brute force it a little bit. You can fail really well, fail with dignity effectively. You didn't succeed, you didn't hit all the way. You didn't, cross the finish line, first, but you gave a really good show and people clearly knew you were trying. Meh is meh, nothing really too exciting. You fail, you succeed, you succeed. Bad is, hey, we're racing and I succeed. If I roll bad and I succeed, that's you tripping and that's you biffing it at the last second kind of thing. That's like you cross the finish line and you fucking face plant. Or hey, you fail badly. It's like, yeah, it's Jover. Like, you fail fucking bad. That's kind of the idea. I think that could be kind of a fun way of just mixing it up a little bit. Giving people a little bit more, giving people a little bit more to work with outside of a single roll, while also not being like, hey, this fate die now determines every single facet of it. It's just kind of a how well or how poorly you succeed at a thing. Now, the core system. Originally, I was thinking of it being what I was originally thinking of it to be is let me just here, a kind of like a kind of like a success-based system. That's kind of what I was initially thinking for. Kind of like early on, you just need to score like 1 or 2 successes on things, but you're going to be building up more and more die. The more dice you have, the more complex things you can do, and with a higher chance of succeeding. If you're a fucking first year, you're like 10, you're not really going to be doing super cool things. You're lame. You're 10 years old. You are doing the best you can, but you're not going to be as qualified as someone who's a lot older. You're even an adult. Hey, do you ever check out the magical stuff for Fate Fudge that I posted eons ago? I think I looked at it and then closed out of it. If you want to repost that, that would be fine. Oh no. What are you? No, bad. Why do I click things? Why do I click things? Why do I click things? Ow. There we go. So, I am, again, it's like, part of me wants to do a success-based system. Now, if I want to be a little bit more child-friendly about things, we can either do, succeed on 5 or 6, or we can do succeed on 4 up, which is pretty much every die you get is a 50% chance of succeeding. Which, if we want to be a little bit more cautious about things, what we can do is we can actually make this the difficulty. So we can make it so that's like, maybe like an easy check is a 4 up, a medium, kind of like an average check is 5 up, while a hard check is going to be 6 up. So it's like, hey, this is just going to be really fucking hard for you because you need to do. That feels. Ugh. That's what I was thinking. This is one option. I'm still not 100% on it. Another part of me is just based off of a TN system. If I want to do this, we can either do kind of like a target number system, where it's like, again, you just need hit 4 up, X times, kind of more of like a raw, I guess the term would be raw success system, which is like hit X up. Oh, hit X up once to succeed. So it might be like, hey, hit 4 up once and you're going to succeed, get maybe multiple times. So pretty much, do I want the difficulty to be tied to the... Do I want difficulty to be difficulty to be tied to the kind of the number of dice you're rolling, or the number of successes you effectively need to hit? That's a little bit up in the air. 5 or 6 if you're going to give many die. Because pretty much the entire concept, my idea anyway, is that early game, you could say, as first years, you're not going to have a lot of die. You're going to need to really work together on things. You want to do something, it's not just going to be little Timmy doing thing, it's going to need to be little Timmy and his 4 friends to do something. As you get older, as you advance in your career of wizard academia, you are actually getting more dice in all of your skills across the board. The more dice you get across the board, the better off you're going to be. You at the end game, you at the last few years, are going to be significantly more qualified to do just about anything by yourself than when you were 10. Hey, I'm 15, I can do things better than I was 10. That's not exactly a stretch of imagination to believe, but I think that could lend itself well to things. I have no idea how I would do skills then. That's one thing about this. I don't quite know how I would do skills. So if you work with your friends, you all roll your die together. What I would probably do if you want to do like a success system, if I'm thinking about it like this, it would be you have the leader and then all your friends add a die to your roll to do something. So if you have 3 friends, if you and your 3 friends, every check you do might be a singular check plus 3 die, just because everyone's working together to do a thing. But that's all hands on deck for a single check. While if you're older, you guys can spread around a lot more efficiently, you can kind of do your own thing a lot more, you're a little bit more independent. But early on, you're really not. So the goal would be to encourage teamwork a little bit more, early game when you don't have that supplies, later time, yeah. Lowering the number of required successes. Alright, that could, well, you know what? See, if I wanted to... No, that wouldn't work. That wouldn't work. Because what I was thinking of, like, what you could do is actually assign skills on a ranking of how, like, pretty much what the difficulty would be. So it's like how many dice you actually need to use in that equation. Or, this is an option, actually. We could make this entirely a skill-based system. No attributes, we just have skills. That could work. So the skills would be your skills would be the number of actual dice you're rolling. And yeah, that could work. That could work. So every year you're going to have your minimum die. Like minimum, you're going to roll 1 die if you're first year, 2 die if you're second year, 3 die if you're third year, kind of thing. Minimum. The more time you have skill, more skill you actually have in a particular thing, the more die you're going to be adding on top of that. So having a 3 in potions or whatever does legitimately mean, and if you're a third year, your first year with a 3 in potions, you're going to be rolling 4 d6s trying to roll up on whatever the difficulty is. No attribute. It's been a while since I've done a skill system. I mean, I guess I could make it skill tributes. Skill tributes wouldn't be a bad idea. Be a little bit more dependent on what the character is doing, but it would tie into the academia aspect a little bit more. maybe make it a skills. We do skill tribute system with the idea that we're going to have maybe like master skills, and then I wouldn't necessarily call them sub skills, but like actually no, yeah, this is the Miro AI thing. Wait, can I generate images? Yeah, Miro put in this new Miro AI thing. What? What? Nanny? That's, yeah, okay, alright, Miro, we're gonna turn you off here. I mean, what else can Miro AI do? Cluster by sentiment? What is cluster by sentiment? What? Why would you... Why would you do this? That's such a bizarre... Like, these are so bizarre things. Like, let's do a little bit. Let's learn about some preferences. Let's learn about some board history. Can we change the command palette? Miro AI. No. Can we get rid of the AI? I guess we cannot. Why? So bizarre. Like what a strange occurrence. I haven't really played with the new Miro AI thing yet. So that's... I wonder what happens if I generate this. I gotta figure it out. We gotta manually... Oh God. Oh sweet Jesus. We got a Manly, by the way. Hello Manly. How are you doing, artist Manly? Jesus, that's some abstract fucking art. So, what do you mean by, the fuck is this? What do you mean by skill tribute? Is that a skill plus skill for every roll? The fuck is this? Use magic. Use magic? What do you mean by use magic? Oh, use magic. Oh no. Let's generate the image. Okay, I'm getting confused and scared. Do you believe in magic? Oh, I mean, that looks a little bit odd, but alright, that's... Miro, I need you. Miro, please do this for me. I'm begging you, Miro. I am begging you to give me what I... Oh no! Oh no, Miro! Miro, what the fuck is this? Miro, what in the ball? What? No! Oh no! Oh no! Oh, okay. All right, Miro. We're gonna just get rid of you right now. So, skill tributes are a little bit odd. Now, the basic idea is, I broke this down in one of the classroom videos, is an attribute system is you have a bunch of core attributes which form the main idea of what you're going to be rolling strength, dexterity, constitution, those kind of things, with your skills kind of being a supplement to it. Skill systems, on the other hand, in which skills form the core of the character. It doesn't quite matter what you want to do with it. Your skills are going to really form who you are. You might have a 16 in strength, but that doesn't really matter as much as your 57% in melee weapon. BRP is a really good example of a skill system, because in BRP, your attributes, they mean a lot, don't get me wrong, but they're not like the most important thing in the world. Skill attributes are a little bit odd, because this is the kind of system that will have strength on the same technical like billing as thievery. Everything is a quote skill, end quote. It could be strength, it could be thievery, it could be anything like that. They're all on the same technical, point, rather than being very strictly broken down into attributes or skills. There's one main system I know uses this, like VTM, to a degree like VTM. VTM is a pretty good example of that because of how everything kind of breaks it down. About skill tribute, yeah, skill tribute is such an odd thing that you could have made an entire classroom about it. Yes, because the entire idea of skill tributes is that it's both of them combined. And because they're kind of combined together, there's a lot of variance with it. And I even kind of mentioned it in the video, which is like, this is incredibly uncommon, but it would be remiss to not bring it up. So that's kind of the idea of the skill tribute system. I think probably the most famous, I guess you can say, A Song of Ice and Fire, RPG. I wonder, can we find a character sheet? Here. This is the Song of Ice and Fire role-playing character sheet. Now, for those who don't know what this is a game by Green Ronin. I actually quite enjoy the game. And as you can kind of see, like right here, all these abilities technically operate on the same wavelength. Your stealth and your fighting ability are technically one and the same. Your agility and status are one and the same. Marksman, endurance, same idea. It's an incredibly bizarre system. And what we could probably do here, if we want to be, we can do something like maybe, so kind of along the idea that, yeah, no, it's, the Song of Ice and Fire role-playing game is very strange. I rewrote the entire game. I know that game inside and out, unfortunately. And I know it's fucking very silly at points. Because it is such a arcane game at points. And it's just odd. Very odd. Oh, Beffy. So, let's see. If we want to do... I'm leaning toward this. But we go for... pretty much like what I was thinking of. It could be something along the lines of like... not necessarily strength, but like physical education, and then under physical education you have like athletics, acrobatics, you're athletic, you're acrobatic, you have acrobatic and things like that, little bit like sub skills under kind of like whatever your core attribute is. Oh god, what game? Actually, you know what? There is a game. There is actually a game. I can't believe I'm gonna have to cite fucking Emoclore, but I will cite fucking Emoclore. Did I put character sheet? Hello, character sheet. Yeah, so one of the core ideas behind Emoclore, this is a JRPG, but a little bit odd game, is these ability scores are effectively what you need to roll. It's a little bit odd in that regard. But these base skill, so these skills right here are the number of dice you're rolling at any point. And so it's like, once well, that's the judgment value. The judgment value is because one of the big things here, I can kind of explain Emoclore's system a little bit to make this sure this works. So let's take, for example, movement. We have movement and speed here. My judgment value for movement, or I should say we'll just say movement JV, is equal to my body. I need to roll under my body with a bunch of D10s, with just one D10. It's kind of like your base skill of like, fuck, you have something. The speed's JV, on the other hand, is equal to my body plus whatever the skill level is. And I'm going to be rolling a number of dice equal to the skill. So if I have 2 in a skill, it's going to be body plus 2, and I need to roll under that value with my D10. But it wasn't going to be necessarily the system, but it was going to be the idea of this, kind of like these base skills you're always going to have something in. I mean, I guess we can work. We tie it into standard skills. Now, if we want to be a little bit, I know what we can call these. Common core skills. There we go. See, it's funny. We're going to need quite a few different skills to make it work, but I think we can come up with those. Emotional folklore disaster. No, it's catastrophe class successful emotional folklore system. Are you gonna make this game a weird as skill tributes? Ah, yes. Disaster class successes, baby. Seems this game will have a very big emotional folklore. Yeah, because what we can do is, your standard skills are always going to be effectively like your year plus, training, for lack of a better word. Your common core skills are pretty much always just going to be your year. The big thing here, what we can probably get the idea being, is that you have to actually kind of invest in these standard skills a little bit more than your common cores. You'll always be able to use like the physical common core skill because you are not entirely noodle. You're not a noodle. You are not a little noodle person. You can definitely use your common core skills. We'll probably only have like a few of those to be like a really like baseline. The baseline, you are using these because you have nothing else to rely on, kind of thing. And probably they won't go very high. They'll probably, what we can actually do is we can probably so your standard skills are going to be Okay. So if we do that. Okay. So this is the main system. We just need a number of successes, and if we do like simple, we can add in the complication. We can do simple would be like 1. I can probably add. So the TN would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like as a young student, you're going to be encountering like TN 1 and 2 things. And then we can actually probably, if we really want to, what we can do is we can add in we can put in a very important note, which is to say, every year that they're there, you can increase the TN by 1 on actions. So when you're first there, all your TNs are going to be 1. You just need to roll a single success to succeed on anything. But your dice pool is also going to be like 3. Roll a 4 up on 3 dice, you have a pretty decent chance of failing. It's entirely possible. When you hit second year, then you can do like TN2s. You can add in 2 target numbers. You need 2 successes. And you can do TN1, you can do 2 and 2, 3rd year, 4th year, 5th year, 6th year kind of thing. Okay. Right, I think that works. I think the basic idea here works. We can probably implement the fate die to put it something maybe in here. I would say we need to put the fate die in here somewhere. I'm pretty confident we can do that. Maybe we can manipulate some of the numbers here to make things a little bit easier, a little bit nicer for people. Or we can maybe tie it up here. Maybe it's kind of like the idea, like, fate die isn't... You're never going to roll fate. You'll never roll the fate die when it comes to your common core skills, so it's kind of the idea you can't get extreme results, but maybe we give the fate die something a little bit more special when it comes to the magical side of things. I am working off of nothing right now. There really isn't a game like this, if you haven't noticed. And that's half the fun. So I think the basic core system here, it's going to be a little bit there. We're going to have to write in a shit ton of skills, but skills just take time to write. Before we hit you, actually, we can actually put you in... I'm going to put you in here. I know how I want to do. So, basic setting. So, I want to give you all a basic rundown of what I imagine the setting to be during my walk today. Yes, I took a walk today. I went downtown. I got a coffee, and I got macaroni salad for lunch. It was very good. So, basic concept. Basic concept. There are wizards. Wizards are dicks. Wizards are dicks. There was a war. We won. We won. Wizard school. Pretty much like the little bit more like grandiose idea I had was pretty much wizards are people. Wizards have been around forever. And they've been able to use magic for pretty much ever. It's not genetic or anything. It's just people have the spark, people don't have the spark to do it. It's not like, well, our midichlorians are better than your midichlorians, so we're able to use magic or not. No. It's effectively, hey, you can do this, you can't do this. You can lose magic, but the second you kind of get introduced to it, you aren't losing magic anymore. It's just, hey, little Timmy is never introduced to magic. He's never going to really learn magic, and the magic's going to die inside of him. Now, the idea was during I was kind of waffling around like when I wanted to make set this time, but it's either going to be the Third Crusade. Pretty much a bunch of crusaders sacked Constantinople and kind of set everything in motion for, oh fuck, we kind of fucked up a little bit. Or it was going to be like pretty much like a historical oh fuck war. And this historical oh fuck war was kicked off because wizards did it. With the idea being that wizards were starting to fight one another and they pretty much went full on gamer mode, trying to eliminate all the other magical beings. Magical beings hate wizards. That's kind of going to be the reoccurring issue. Is, oh wow, look everyone, it's a centaur. Look how majestic and beautiful they are. Why does that centaur look like he wants to kill me? Because he does. Centaur hate you. Oh, look at the little fairies. Fairies want to kill you. Oh, look at the little goblins. Well, we did some terrible things to goblins. Have no fear, everybody. Wink, wink, wink. Goblins control wizard banking. J.K. Rowling, what are you doing? Ha ha ha. Wink, wink, wink. Now, pretty much this was the end of the pre-war. This war goes on, and things are pretty bad. Big thing what occurs is that Dark Lord rises. The wizards kill the Dark Lord, and now we've entered the post-war period. Pretty much everyone's like, well, we need to be a lot more careful about training people. We need to kind of more formalize the education system, and that's where a lot of the schools started popping up. Instead of these little, like, secluded academies, it was like, yeah, here's an actual full-on school. This does lead to the 1960s. My big idea would be the 60s, in which, hey, we need to pretty much revamp the entirety of the curriculum and like build a shit ton more schools, because what occurred was the things like, you got things like the Thulian Society, you've got people like the Soviets, and a bunch of different people across the world were employing hedge wizards, pretty much completely untrained wizards, to fight in World War fucking II. And by the time the 60s, like, hey, let's formalize this shit down even better and actually, like, distribute education to people so we don't have this shit happen again. You know, Harry Potter and the Final Solution. We don't want that. We do not want wizards doing weird shit. Casting mass Alzheimer's on everybody. No. No more war crime wizards. Which would lead eventually to, so Ars Magica Order Terminis, but with less political BS ingrained in the teaching process. Effectively, that would be, I think the best way to think about it was be pre-war, whatever this date of conflict would be. Pre-war is very Order of Hermes, very Ars Magica, very, oh, only the best of the best may learn to be wizards. You peasants can learn from your your grandmothers, and they can teach you magic. Wizard racism. Post-war is, hey, we need to actually like make it so that these schools are all vaguely teaching the same thing, otherwise known as, this is how you fight black magic, this is how you don't use black magic, don't use black fucking magic or we'll all die. Cool. Which did lead to the modern era, which is, we need to build way more education facilities, and we effectively need to create, for lack of a better word, inner city wizard schools. And that's going to be kind of one of the funny things, is you are not going to Hogwarts. Straight up, you are not going to Hogwarts. Sorry, kids. Your parents are not rich enough, and you do not have the right anything. You're going to like the B tier school. You're going to like a C tier school that was built in like the 70s. Congratulations. You're going to learn how to become a wizarding accountant. Yay. That's going to be kind of like one of the big things with it, is like there was this You do have your Hogwarts and shit like that set up, but for every Hogwarts, there's a dozen of these, like, effectively wizard public schools, because not everyone can go to the nice schools. We can't afford that, but we can definitely afford setting up a school in the middle of New York in a fucking town, you know, in a goddamn, you know, a skyscraper, and no one's gonna question it. We pay our bills, everyone's happy. For lack of a better word, it's the charter school phenomenon. We move from private schools to public schools to now charter schools. That's the modern era of wizard education. You're going to one of these pretty much not the actual like good schools. You're going to the mid ones, where if you want to set your effectively campaign in Chromite High School, Wizard Edition, go for it. Go for it. Nothing's gonna stop you. You want to deal with Freddy and Co? Go for it. I think that's funny in its own way. So what year does the game start? Year 1. I don't quite know how I want to do it yet. It is gonna be the idea that you are all being sent off to your your little wizard school, effectively, to learn how to use magic. And in this little area, it's not the best school. It's not the most impressive. It's not the most elite. But there's going to be thousands of students from everywhere in the area doing this shit. And if you live in the middle of a city and you're from the city, you can just go home. You get off of school, you take the bus home. Bully, but in a magic school for bullies. It sounds like a great set. Yeah, if you just want to play bully, but everyone's got magic, go for it. It's not necessarily going to be high school, but like you're gonna start very. Oh wait, no, campaign takes place in the modern day or in the 80s. It's going to take place primarily in the kind of the modern day, but it's going to be the modern day, you know, as much as you want it to be kind of thing. I'm not really going to be like, here's some modern events that you need to worry about. Not really. It's going to be in that kind of vague time period of it's modern, but like, do you want to set this in the 90s? You can't set this in the 90s if you want. You want to set this in, 2023? You can. You want to set this in 2027? You can, because probably not much is going to change. You want to set this in 2090? Not really. That's what I mean. Kind of like that vaguely modern era. I know there's a lot of differences between 1980 and 2023. Yeah, I know. But I'm really not going to worry too much about it. Because that's not really... Oh god, Wizard Clay's playing Yu-Gi-Oh! With enchanted cards and doing shadow duels. Yeah, like pretty much one of the initial... one of the initial binding agents of the character. Because this is always like one of these things with like school, like oh well, you're all going to be part of Gryffindor. You're all going to be part of like, yeah, you're all going to be something like that. Your main thing, what you're going to be, is you're all going to know one another. For a variety of reasons. Hey, we are the guys who join the effectively card game club, after school card game club. We don't live together. We just play Yu-Gi-Oh! After school, and now we gotta help our friend who got fucked up by the guys, the third years, and got sent to the goddamn Shadow Realm. How do we help our friend out? Oh no. You guys are the guys who just bunk together. You're in a room. How do we know one another? We live together. Alright, understandable. It's like, we're on the same sports team. We're on the same, we're on, we just share homeroom together, and we're just good friends. We met on the first day of school, and we're kind of in this together. I think that would be an easier way of looking at things. But the setting is going to be inherently kind of, how do I want to... Modern fantastical. Modern fantastical. Mhm. Mhm. It's gonna be kind of like the idea of being like, "Welcome to the wizarding secret world of fantasy." It's like, oh boy, oh wow, I'm a wizard, everybody. I'm a 9 years old and I'm getting sent to wizard school. And you go there, and then it's like, do you have the ticket? Yeah, I have my magic ticket, and I'm gonna go to magic school. And being like, that's great, kid. Stand on the fucking platform, and you're gonna go to your stupid fucking wizard school, and you're gonna come back here in 3 fucking weeks, and you're gonna bitch about how you went to wizard school because it sucks and you gotta learn math. It's like, oh man, I don't want to go to wizard school anymore. I don't wanna. I think that would be kind of amusing in its own right, kind of more along the island. Sorry, Jimbo, you got a D on your test, so you're getting sent to the Shadow Realm. Yeah, it's like, you don't do well, you kind of have to deal with shit like No Child Left Behind. If a child is not doing well, you're going to have to make sure they do better. Like, that kid's gonna get sent to the special school. Why is he in the special class? 'Cause he's a fucking idiot. Like, you've been in potions class for the past 3 years. You are 13 years old taking a class with 10-year-olds because you keep fucking up your damn potions. We're gonna make sure you're gonna be happy. You're gonna pass this damn class. It's the house system from Harry Potter makes sense if you understand like British schooling. Because British schooling does have a system like that, like the house system. It's more like, hey everybody, like it's more of a way to like split up the student body in ways of, we can actually manage where everyone's going in certain places. If there is ever like a issue with something, we can kind of put them together. If there's ever a team thing we need to do, we can put them together pretty easily. That's kind of the idea. It's not like, here is the hero house, Gryffindor. Here is the weed house, Hufflepuff. Here is the smart people house, Ravenclaw. And here's the house for dickheads, Slytherin. But I don't want to be a dickhead. No, sorry. You took the magic hat test and you said you don't like people sometimes. You're going to join a bunch of sociopath children. Aw, man, I don't want to join the sociopaths. All your friends are going to be in your little school. Like, I wonder, do they ever talk about that in good old-fashioned Harry Potter? Of like, what if a Slytherin guy just kind of wants to be friends with one of the Gryffindor people? Like, they just have lunch and they're just kind of cool with one another. Being like, oh, wow, you're in Slytherin. Yeah, I'm in Gryffindor. Cool. You want to get lunch? Yeah. And then they just get lunch. It's like, ah, man, fuck Professor Snape's stupid potion class. That shit's stupid. Don't worry, man. I got you covered. Go take my homework. Like, that's not a thing that happens in Harry Potter, because every character is stupid. Remember that, kids. Every single character in Harry Potter loses brain cells frequently. Not really. He was brushed up in Hogwarts Legacy in a good way, in a bad way, and cursed child. Yeah, again, Slytherin are for evil children. Like, Slytherin is for evil children. Gryffindor is for good children and assholes. And the other two are for irrelevant characters. That's the funny thing. Again, that's all you need to know. Like, that's what you need to know about your Ravenclaw Hufflepuff life. It's for irrelevant character. Oh, I'm Luna Lovegood and I'm... Sorry, you are no relevant character. You don't matter. Oh, I'll have you know I'm the real hero. I'm from Hufflepuff. No, you're not. Would it be more interesting if they revealed Voldemort was a Gryffindor? Yeah, and shit like that. Like Voldemort was a hero, was part of the good guy house, and he's just a dick. Harry, what, you joined the Slytherin? How can you be in Slytherin? 1 grillion points from Slytherin. 1 million. Let's see. Modern fantasy, more mundane. Inner city wizard school. Going. Fantasy creatures exist. They hate you. Mm. 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 There we go. Formalize academic institutions. Basic idea is we are going to have like how many years are in a Harry Potter? How many years? 7 years. Unless you're Harry Potter and his 2 best friends, blow off their seat year, but who actually pays the cost of attending. Year 8. So I mean, technically, it would be 7 years main, and then we're going to do 10 years and then 3 year, and then plus 3 years. Which would effectively be your collegiates. So that's going to be kind of like, for lack of a better word, this is going to give you your bachelor. You want to play yeah, 7 years are going to be your main one, with the idea being like you can continue your education for 3 more years and effectively come out with a bachelor degree in wizard bullshit. I keep getting pinged by people. Who are you? Who are you? Oh no, Pepper. Only Harry Potter and Malfoy's kid are both in Slytherin, but they hate it there. But like everything in that musical, logic is non-existent. Oh yeah, I forgot they made a musical for Harry Potter. And everyone gets along. So yeah, this is kind of the basic idea. The more like the kind of the main goal is yeah, the wizarding world is fantastically dull. The main idea is these wizards have been doing this shit for so long that it's not really going to be like, wow, look at this exciting thing. And what I would want to happen is that your first year is like, wow, look at the beauty of the world. It's so exciting and brand new. And like by the time you hit like your 3rd or 4th year, it's like, oh my fucking god, they put the fucking centaurs back here. These stupid goblinoid fuckwits are being stupid. You are stupid. You're going to get the shoe. You are stupid. It's kind of more along that idea of you're getting so acclimated to it because it's such a this has been going on for decades at this point. People know what's going on. And by the time you guys show up, by the time the students show up, it's kind of well settled in. And that's kind of an issue in some places. And that should be kind of like one of the main driving forces of the issue is you have a bureaucracy that doesn't really give a shit about most people. Most of the wizarding world, the upper management, comes from those really nice schools. Those actual really formal academies. Not the shitholes you're coming from. You guys are like, congratulations, you're gonna get like a shitty 9 to 5. Like, you're getting a shitty 9 to 5. And it's like, yeah, I completed my 7 years in school. I'm not gonna stay here. I'm gonna go to an actual real university and get a real bachelor's degree in accounting. Because that can pay the fucking bills. Like, I am going to go to my computer science degree. Like, you may. It's supposed to be a sequel, but every character makes no sense, which is funny. You're making that voice made me imagine a wizard student grabbing a shoe and telling us that I'm going to send you to Jesus. I am going to send you to Jesus. Yeah, it's shit like that. That's kind of the idea of the beat that I want. This is a world that's lived in, if that makes sense. Because like one of the things that always baffled me about Harry Potter was that it's like, wow, like every single book there was something brand new and exciting that no one has ever heard of before. And that thing that no one has ever heard of before is, of course, discovered by Harry fucking Potter. And you don't really learn that much about the greater setting until the later books. And which, mind you, very few of the Harry Potter books, I believe, were written with any degree of consistency between them. For various reasons. Mostly because J.K. Rowling didn't know what the plan was. You know what? We can get this stream content blocked, shall? Let's get let's Harry Potter musical. Let's get a fun Harry Potter musical. No, nope, that's not it. Harry Potter and the Cursed Child song. Let's get some funny songs. Okay, we've got something from Vivo, everybody. We've got something from Vivo. So let's listen to Wand Dance. We're going to listen to Wand Dance, everybody. Let's bump up the music here a little bit. From Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, performed 3 years ago. Okay, no, give me some fucking music. Come on, baby, give me some music here. I want some people fucking dancing. I would get some people fucking dancing. This is, come, give me some. Is it not? Do they not? They've got to have something, right? Let me think. What would be, the Australian cast. All right. Okay, no, we're not doing this anymore. Okay, so what did we learn today, kids? Notepad, you were literally losing money by not making this a Kickstarter. Suddenly shitpost. Oh, yeah, not making this a Kickstarter. I don't have a game yet, Sterner. There's no game yet. I know. Well. To be frank, that's most Kickstarters. That is most Kickstarters. Let's be perfectly frank with ourselves here. I'm trying to be nice, but let's be honest with ourselves. Let's see. So yeah, we've got the basic understanding of how to do wizard school, wizardry bullshit. Now we worry about the problem child. Now we learn about magic. Magic. A vast majority of spell systems I've actually seen that I've been trying to work with here. Maybe you should try bullshitting your way through a Kickstarter. I've debated on it. I've really debated on it. I have a few ideas. I would be debating on what would be the most optimized Kickstarter project. The only idea that I've ever had for like the most optimized Kickstarter project would be making a 5e game. This has more drama potential than Mort Borgia. Yeah. I have a few, like, again, if I know how I would do it. Again, here's the thing. You want to know how you pitch this game? You really want to know how you pitch this game in particular? What you do it is, you're pitching this game as the idea of Harry Potter is written by a misogynistic, even though she's not very, TERF, who hates women, hates trans people, hates the gays, hates hates Latin Americans, hates the Jews, oy vey, and generally speaking, we need to recapture the Harry Potter magic, though. So we will be creating our very own setting. We need to create our very own world, our very own wizarding world, to enjoy the things that we've enjoyed forever. So in doing this, we're breaking brand new strides, and thus I will be making this game empowered by the apocalypse, forged in the dark. In my brand new system, I'm going to be called Powered by Magic. A POM doesn't really sound as well. The name's workshopping on how you would do it. 10 note coin to any. 10 note coin to anybody who can figure out the best way of wording our brand new system that doesn't exist. Or our brand new, like, money laundering scheme. I mean, proud IP. See, if I wanted to be really optimized about it, I add someone new to the thought cabinet. I add a woman to the thought cabinet. And that would be a marionette. Quite literally, what I would call them is marionette, or Marion-E, or M-et. M.et, E-T-T-E. So when someone asks, oh, what's your name? Marion. It's marionette. That's all it would be. So it's like, yeah, this is a puppet, and that's all I would do. I would never speak. I would probably need to get, if I were to be, if I wanted to be efficient about things, what I would do is I would effectively, I would probably leverage Pepper. That'd be my initial thing. I don't know if Pepper's in here, but I would leverage Pepper. Because I damn well know she would be on board with it. Alternatively, if I wanted to be real gamer, I would leverage one of my other friends, one of my female friends in another Discord. I would leverage them and their voice, because they actually have a very British accent, a very pronounced British accent, that is, and it has a very pleasant voice, even on like Discord calls and things. She's a little quiet, but we could fix that up a little bit. We combine all of that together, have her say the right things at the right places, and bada bing, bada boom, you've optimized it. Now, if I wanted to be really optimal, and I do mean completely optimized, I would set the goal to be about $500. The goal being to hit $500 within probably a week. At that point, the money should roll in. Most of the stretch goals would be adding more things. We'd be adding more people on board with it. Now, we want to be conservative. What we could probably do is get a few people and throw some money at some vaguely, I'll throw some money at some a vaguely important person. Or if I want it to be a little bit more, let's say keeping it within the family, what I would do is pay it to various members of the Discord to write certain sections. Now, what would occur there is everyone would write about a page and a half of actual, like, things, but not really that much. Pay everyone out about $100 each to keep their mouth shut more than anything. Write the rest of the game, publish the game. Now, the thing is, what we need to do is we need to get an artist on board, and I mean a good artist. Luckily for us, that same voice that I would probably use in my own Discord, in one of the more private Discords, she is an artist, so I could probably throw most likely half of the Kickstarter at her, being like, hey, I'm going to transfer this amount of money to you, you're going to do all the art assets here. And we can share we can make some fucking money here. And we can pay her for the VO work. I write the game. Doesn't need to be good. That's the thing. It doesn't need to be good. It doesn't even need to be feature complete. Because we would use our brand new engine, Mystifying Magic or whatever the fuck we would call it. We'd use that as the way to pretty much farm content for the remaining time. Whatever, we would fully support people making content with it. Now, the joke would be, is that we would charge everyone else who didn't get involved just a little bit more than we should. So people are going to be more encouraged to use our brand new SRD, of course, that we'll set up. And that brand new SRD, wink wink, is also going to allow us to measure a couple different results there. Of course, we won't have a lot of valuable information in there, but hey, we don't need that information. You have the system right here. That you should then make a negative review video of the game. Exactly. We make a negative review of the game, we post it everywhere, depending on how popular it is, especially in places that we've set up. Especially in like a private Discord that we've set up. And what I'll be able to do is be able to then post the result of that video into that Discord, being like, guys, we are being brigaded. Someone really hates the game. I don't think they've played. I don't think they've watched it. Are they correct? And we'll play the sympathy card a little bit there. Play a little bit of the sympathy card, and then suddenly I'm getting a shit ton of views. Now, the true Comedy Central moment, and I do mean the true Comedy Central moment, would be after we get done with the first expansion, of course, 20-page zine. I gracefully pull back my mask and reveal my rampant schizophrenia. And we get to see thousands of dollars as I transfer those thousands of dollars directly into my bank account. And they're like, how could this be? You can't be this person. And then I bring on my friend, being like, this is your VO. Yes, this is the VO, this is the artist. You've been playing a chud game all along. You are the chud. It would be Kino. And I'll get Matt Damon to play me in the movie. It'll be great. But, Matt Damon as the Notepad Anon. We can get The Rock in. Rock can play Wuso. How about that? Dwayne The Rock Johnson as Wuso. Oh my god. It'd be great. Even better if we just never show their faces and everything's just online. We'd make millions. Kickstarter has fallen. Billions must dab. Notepad, did you take your meds? I don't take meds, thank you very much. The only medication I take is the ideal. Cannot look more different than. Again, just hire in random. Hey, I'll even go for Danny Bonaducci as me. I like Danny Bonaducci. I think he's hilarious. That would just be like Timothy Chalamet as Alcor winners. That's how it works. Yeah, this will be the next great American movie. But rampant schizophrenia aside, we need to learn how to do magic. Now, magic. Do you believe in magic? Because here's the thing with matter. Here's the 411. You don't feel confident in hiring Gosling? Wuso, you don't understand. Ryan Gosling and his Kenergy would need to be my direct antagonist, the one who's pulled it all together. He would be the chud, and he would be the one piecing the entire story together. That's the thing. That'll be the great story. Ryan Gosling as the chud. He's the one. Previous stream, you mentioned the idea of power word. Yeah. The basic ideas, if I have for glorious, magicos. La magica. It is either we go completely open-ended, which is pretty much you're just going to define X, X is doing Y to Z. Easy enough to understand it. Completely open-ended, that's what a lot of these games are. It's like you just have the charm skill. This would literally be a very skill-based system. One way is power, one of the other ways is power word, which is kind of the idea of certain word, pretty much learning words to do things. You need to learn the word to speak the word to do the thing. Which one of the main ideas of advancement would be stringing together multiple words. So it might be X, Y, and Z for third year. This is a third year spell because it's technically 3 different things. First years are really only going to be able to use maybe one or two of these words reliably. But it's like, how do you balance this correctly? Unless I legitimately choose to be like, as you are learning magic, you are quite literally just defining what words you get. Like, I have the word fire. What are you going to do with the word fire? I don't know. Hey, I have the word bubble. What are you going to do with bubble? I don't know. I just have it. Yeah, so it's little bit of things like that. Imagine this isn't even dealing with things like MP or whatever, how we want to do that. Because like one of the issues with magic is Harry Potter magic. Like Harry Potter magic works legitimately on wimey-bindy nightmare nothing. There is no sense of like, what the fuck? What is that? Don't like that. Like, a lot of these are like, the magic just kind of happens. It's like you point and you 1 to billion. You kind of point and things occur. Harry Potter Magic Awaken. What is Harry Potter Magic Awaken? Oh, that's a Chinese game. Tell me more about Hogwarts Magic Awakened. It's made over $1 billion, by the way. Oh boy, let's learn about the magic by Portkey Games. What does Portkey Games do? Portkey Games. Nothing. They have done Hogwarts Legacy, Wizards Unite, Puzzles and Spells, Hogwarts Mystery. So this is what they've done. They've just done. They're just the Harry Potter company. Yeah, so they're just Harry Potter games. So what is NetEase? There we go. Wait. Chinese, yeah. It's a goddamn Chinese game. Is this the holding company of the games then? Based on movement, words, and intent. Yes. No. Portkey Games. This is something you gotta kind of understand about Portkey. Let's I'll bring him back in the port and just give everyone an idea. Portkey Games is a company established by the guys who did Hogwarts Legacy. This is a company established by effectively Warner Brothers. They got bought by Warner Brothers to make Harry Potter games. They're not a holding company or anything. This is quite literally a company that was bought and purchased, that is owned directly by Warner Brothers to create shit like this and to manage it, if you could say that. Am I saying they've done every single thing for this? No. Kind of see they aren't really doing anything to make anything too unique. Owner, let's see, video game label found 2017. They're literally owned by Warner Brother Games. This is legitimately all they've done. Second mobile game, Hogwarts Mystery. Cool. iOS, a lot of Android, a lot of iOS and Android games. Kind of see where it says like the developers. The idea that what they're doing with a lot of the time is that they are effectively a publishing company. And I say a publishing company. They are, but aren't. They're a label. They're the ones where Hogwarts Mystery is created by Jam City. They're given to them. They release it, but they're pretty much just an arm of Warner Brothers. Even things like Quidditch Champions, like Hogwarts Legacy, is made by this company called Avalanche. Avalanche is actually owned directly by Warner Brothers Games directly. And they've had amazing games such as Off-Road Challenge, Mortal Kombat Trilogy, NFL Blitz 2001, Toy Story 3 for the Wii, Disney Infinity 3.0, Cars 3 Drive to Win, and Hogwarts Legacy. And see, there's a jump there. So yeah, that's it's not a holding company, but it also is a holding company. It's more like a way for, if they don't do well, Portkey Games is the one that gets shat on a little bit, but they're pretty much just a division of Warner Brother Games with the sole purpose of managing all the Harry Potter titles. And words that make spells target larger, AoE, etc. The Harry was cursed, loose, yeah. Yeah, it's welcome to the wonderful wizarding world of IP law. It's the best. Harry Potter IP is really fascinating, by the way. If you ever really want to know about Harry Potter IP law and like just IPs in general, it's really interesting. Because that's a Harry Potter, I think, is like a very big example franchise of a series that is barely owned by the owner anymore. Like, that's the thing. Like, J.K. Rowling sees very little of like Legacy's money. I'm assuming they still give her a cut of Legacy, but it's not like every single copy of Legacy is giving J.K. Rowling $60. No. She's probably making, at best, maybe 10 cents on the copy sold. Maybe that. Probably not even that. Or she's just probably got a lump sum from Warner Brothers to continue the license. Fascinating stuff. But, yeah, like, let's do a little investigation, shall we? Let's look at magic systems. Magic systems, TTRPG. Well, let's just look at Arx Fatalis. Cool. Cepheus system. Ars Magica. So everyone's citing Ars Magica. Okay, that's one. We got good old-fashioned Ars Magica. A little bit, spell guidelines. Like, yeah, so you're combining words together for this one. Let's, I don't actually own any of the Ars Magica books. Let's see. Spheres of power. Mage the Awakening, Ars Magica, Changeling the Dreaming. Second edition D&D, 5th edition D&D. These techniques: first person singular, present tense, crea, intelligento, muto, perdo, rego, animal, autumn. So it's pretty much never heard of this one before. The problem is the problem I'm having with that one is that it seems a little bit too open. Of course, we can always go to my favorite one, Arx Fatalis. We just make Arx Fatalis the fucking game. We could try Morrowind. Like, yeah, this is great. I love it. I love all of these. These are all Final Fantasy VII. The best magic system in RPGs. The best magic system available. Otherwise known as Spell break. Cool. Avatar Legends. Fuck you. 4 tiers of power. Jaws of Six Serpent. So, Barbarians of Lemuria. It's been a while since I've looked at Barbarians of fucking Lemuria. I do like Barbarians of Lemuria. Hello, Quixalted. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've seen you, Quixalted. My lovely fucking fuck you, don't need that. Fuck you, don't need that. So create summon element, person, beast, plant, magic, mercenary. Tales of Blades and Heroes. Combination of power. Alright. You know what that means, everybody? I'm going to need to call upon a man of legend, a man of myth, a man who might know something. Luca. Luca. Is Luca even on now? Wizard of Legend. Oh, is the wait a second. I know. Wizard of Legend, like, I actually enjoyed my time playing Wizard of Legend. I thought it was fun. One of those games I'm like, I'm not gonna be like, I'm gonna play Wizard of Legend all the time. But it was fun for me. D6 Dungeons. We have something to work with here. Optional rules. Tell me about magic. Tell me about magic. Freeform spell casting. The spell is declare what you want to do in there. Sets difficulty. 2 types of magic. I don't like where this is going. Never heard of this game. Let's see. No, it's written by Venger. No, I'm not gonna get anything from Venger. Venger, no. See, there should be an answer here. Because, like, the one thing that I'm having, like, I need a method to make sure that characters growing with power are actually getting more things to work with over time. I want a year 1 wizard, little Timmy, walking into school one day with a magic wand being like, I'm going to cast magic, and then getting his shit rocked by it because he's a stupid moron. I want that to be very important. But by the time he reaches, year 7, he is a genuine badass, and he can actually use quite a few magic spells that he just knows. Do wands matter? I don't know if they have wands yet. I haven't thought that far ahead yet. Part of me is like, I need to better define what magic actually is and how it's actually done. If I wanted to be, do we need a discrimination time? And part of me would want to be able to be like, maybe we go in a direction of like just one type of magic. I go hyper detail into how magic works before really doing anything else here. That's why I'm a little bit like, how do I want to do this? How does this look? What's going on here? Because it's in this weird spot where it's not complete. I don't want it completely open-ended, where you have little Timmy casting death magic at, when he's 10. But I also don't want it. I think you decide if people multiple casting objects or not without defining magic. What I mean more about defining magic is, what is magic? What does it do? How do we do things with it? Like right now, it's just there is magic and it does a thing. There is magic and it is magical. That's what I was thinking, like, if I shifted over to being like, yes, this is Arx Fatalis. Straight up, this is just Arx Fatalis. And you have to, it takes a second for you to stop. This little Timmy casting death magic randomly is very appropriate for an American school setting, though. No, Sterner, no. No pumped up kicks here. But it's kind of the idea of, if I get the idea of like, hey, this is just an Arx Fatalis method, where you pause and you have to legitimately carve out this thing in the air to cast a spell, that's going to be very different than, I need to speak words to do things. Or, can we do silent casting? What's that actually do? Is this going to be legitimate Vancian magic, where you have to kind of think ahead of with how you want to prepare your spells? That's what I mean. Like, it's, if I define what I want to do with the magic, I can define how the magic works. Hello. What's up? No, by middle of a lion and dragon session. Simple and cool OSR. That's my pundit, if I remember correctly. Glad you're having fun there. Don't know why you were listening to me while playing a game. How would the arc system translate to tabletop mechanics? Generally speaking, the idea of arcs is pretty simple. All you do is you pretty much do the symbol, you have it in your hand, you fire it off. That's the basic. Technically, the title is Scala Maleficarum. That's the title of it. However, Inner City Wizard School is funny. One of the ideas with how they do an arc system is that you would be making a check to effectively carve it out, and then you might be making a second check to use it properly. Musical little Timmy learns one incantation note first year and only learns to control its height. Learns one incantation note in first year and only learns to control its height. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's a lot of different ways to approach this, and a lot of different ways to look at things. Hmm. Hmm. My Minecraft map. You haven't noticed. I feel like I'm missing something. Maybe, what am I looking at? What am I looking at? What was that one? What was that one? Not Warlock. Can't. Oh, can't. There's something I can work with here. Like, magic. Magic. Do you believe in magic? Grimlum. What am I thinking of? What am I thinking of here? What am I thinking of? It's there was one, it was a spell casting game where you used a shit ton of spells and you had to like custom build all your spells, and it was annoying to play. Like really annoying to play. Lichdom Battle Mage. Ah, yes, Lichdom Battle Mage. Spell crafting. The official guide to crafting spells. Guide to crafting. Okay, so. The spell comprises of 3 components: a sigil, pattern, and an augment. You'll spell patterns that allow you to use more than one augment. You must use a sigil to craft with. You can create an unlimited number of spells with a given sigil, provided you have enough pattern and augment items in your inventory. Patterns determine how spells delivered 3 times: targeted, Nova, or AoE. Mystria? Okay, let's look at Mystria. Mages of Mystria. Mages of Mystria. Mystrila. Spell crafting. Tell me more about spell crafting. Tell me more. Medii Actus Crio Eagle. Okay. Mastery Ruin, Medi / Eyes Station. Rain has a spell casting system. Rain does have a spell casting system, doesn't it? Do I have Rain and it's full? I do. not have rain in Kyridian. Okay. Tyranny has spell crafting? Does it? Tyranny magic. Does it? Only the Archons can will magic into being. Everyone else can only cast magic by invoking the sigil of an Archon that's come before. I don't know how the Archons do their magic seems different from each Archon, but theory suggests once an Archon starts to invoke their powers, anyone else who comes good with proper tap into the power, proper sigil know-how. Let's see. Spell creation. Force sigil. Expression sigil. Accent script. Enhancements. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna call it here. I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna think about this. I'm just gonna think, I'm gonna mull, and I'm going to look at something. I am thinking I know how to do this. I'm thinking I do. Most likely on Monday we're gonna continue this, and we're gonna do the entirety of the magic set. I'm pretty confident. I think I know how to do this. I'm 90% sure. But I'll give you a secret about being 90% sure on something. I'm also 10% not sure. So hopefully I can... My goal is to muster something up, or at least put something together. I have a feeling I know what to do, and it's going to be a little bit of A and B. Pretty much what we need to do, for lack of a better word, or for lack of better ways of looking at this. We need to create a system in which you can combine a pretty much different aspects together. And those multiple aspects are all going to do something slightly different. However, first year students can do maybe one of these. And you're going to be learning those different aspects going along. So you might, like early on, you might be only able to do very basic ones. Or it could be you only have access to maybe like one of these core ones, or like you only have access to very few of these things actually. The older you get, the more spells you learn, the more you're actually able to combine them together to do different things. And that first year is, how do I use a limited tool? How do I use a very limited amount of resources to do with something? Later on, it's, with all the resources at my disposal, how do I do this to overcome this challenge? I think I can work. I don't know how to pull. I'll think on it. I will see you all probably tomorrow. Tomorrow we will probably go over Candelabra, Obscura Kana, because I find that funny and I want to talk about it. So that's why. So, yes, there we are. Yeah, Godspeed, good luck. I will see you all then. Have a wonderful night.